I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life.
Staring at a screen for 8 hours a day, like, I literally had to go get an eye test because, like, I started getting these little, like, dust particle things that, like, fly around in my eye, and it still happens now. And
poor baby. She had to stare at a screen all day long. Oh my God, her poor eyeballs with the little floaty dust thingies. Today we're going to be diving into the wild and crazy world of Gen Z boldly rejecting the 9 to 5 grind. And honestly, I don't know if I should be mad, jealous, or taking notes. But while we listen to what they have to say, I want you to think about this. Is Gen Z really the lazy generation? Or are they just the first generation to boldly say what all of us have been feeling and thinking for years?
I'm literally 6 months into my first corporate job and I already want to quit. I work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Actually, no, it's more like 8 to 5. And sometimes it's like 5 to 5. I'll be going through my work week and then by the time it gets to Friday, I'm just so exhausted to the fact where like I can't do anything on the weekend anymore. Something needs to change in this like work culture because like this is not cutting it. Because I'm not gonna go through my entire life working for like 40 years and then like I wake up one day and I think about it and I'm like, wow, it's been 40 years and I've done literally nothing. The only caveat with quitting this job is that I will not have any money. So how am I supposed to do that? What am I supposed to do?
If I had pearls, I would be clutching them. The thought of working for 40 years just to be able to retire, is that what, hold on.
Because I'm not gonna go through my entire life working for like 40 years and then like I wake up one day and I think about it and I'm like, wow, it's been 40 years and I've done literally nothing. The only caveat with quitting this job is that I will not have any money. So how?
Thank you for pointing out the obvious, princess. Yeah, if you don't work, you're not gonna have any money. So on the one hand, she's saying, I don't wanna work for 40 years. I don't want 40 years of my life to go to working from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. Blech. But if I quit, I like won't have any money. Oh my God, is that how this entire video was gonna go? I gotta say, I always try to let you guys know, I try to have genuine reactions with you guys. I find these clips and I will watch a little bit just to make sure that it goes along with the topic that we're talking about, but I never listen to them in their full entirety. I like to have genuine reactions with you guys, and just watching one freaking clip is going to, we're gonna be in for a ride today.
I'm just so sick of like the 9 to 5 corporate America. And the thing is, I just got here. I'm 2 years in and I'm already over it. Like the politics, the climbing up the ladder, the people in the room telling you have to work like extra hard to...
The people telling you that you have to work. Imagine having a job and being surprised that you're asked to try. That's what she said. It's not just that you have to work. It's you have to work extra hard. Like, I'm sure that what she's referring to is like, you don't just, do your job, that you're asked to perform above and beyond for your job. Your boss is basically asking you to not do the bare minimum. And they seem shocked, absolutely flabbergasted that you're asked to do more than the bare minimum for your job. Really?
Just make it up to the next level. But this whole thing of like, we spend 40 hours of the week at work just to survive in corporate America and then survive in America and then just survive. Like, I'm so over this. Like, I have a strong, like, urge to live abroad.
To live abroad? Don't you need money to live abroad? I mean, you can't just like, you can't just go to another country and live off your good looks. I mean, am I right? Am I wrong? Kind of need money if you're gonna go live abroad. It doesn't matter if you're living in America, if you're living in Europe, if you go to Mexico, Canada, it doesn't matter where you go, you're gonna need money, which means you're gonna have to have a job. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but in order to live anywhere, you're gonna have to have a job. Okay.
Yesterday I hit a hard wall that I've never hit in my life, where I've realized that being a working adult is literally running on a never-ending hamster wheel, and we're doing the same thing for the rest of our lives. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of what life is. Are all Gen Zers sheltered? Okay, so I do have a Gen Z, right? My 19-year-old is Gen Z. And I have heard him say, my son is listening right now, honey, I love you, But I have heard my own son say that he doesn't think that it's right that we have to work so hard just to live without this hardcore hustle mentality. Now, I genuinely think that he does get that from being my son, because he sees how hard I hustle, right? So I poke fun and I am laughing at these 20 somethings and their, reactions to having to have an actual job where you do actual work and you have to actually show up and spend 40 years of your life working in order to retire. But I did work in corporate America. I did. I worked in corporate America. I always tell you guys, I'm an entrepreneur. You guys know I'm an entrepreneur. I wasn't really a full-time entrepreneur until I was 30. So only a decade I have been a full-time entrepreneur. That's it. The first 15 years, I started working when I was 15 years old. From 15 to 30, I was employed by somebody else. I was in corporate America. I not only did, the fast food gigs and the part-time retail work, but I was also the executive administrative assistant to a big wig of a major hotel chain. And I worked my way up from being an executive assistant to being a general manager of one of their hotels. But I have been a part of corporate America, punching the clock from 8 to 5. I know what that's like. And I gotta tell you, it's really not that bad. It's really not. It's just work. You gotta do it. Everybody's gotta do it. But you know what's even harder? Being an entrepreneur. Being solely responsible for making the money that supports you without having a boss writing a paycheck for you. That shit's hard. So I'm sorry, babies, you gotta pick your poison. It's a hamster wheel. We're all on it.
If you're in college right now, think about it. The rest of your life after school is waking up, commuting to your 9 to 5, working that 9 to 5, commuting home, and then rinsing and repeating the same cycle until we retire. At this point, we might not even retire till we're 70 years old. I'm just what is...
There's a lot of people that don't retire until they're 70 years old. My father is 66 years old, and he is just now retired this last December. As soon as he turned 66, my father retired. And honestly, he probably would have kept on working because everybody wants to be comfortable when they retire, right? You never want to retire and worry that you're gonna run out of money or worry about health insurance. And in this day and age, in this economy, honestly, a lot of us are probably going to be working until we're 70. There's not really a lot that we can do about it because we need money to live. That's just how it is, baby. That's just how it is.
What is this? I don't know if I'm just spiraling, but it's just really depressing to me. And I'm really starting to see that there's not much to life other than working, which is so sad. This is so ghetto. Get me out, get me out, get me out.
But that's the thing too. They say that there has to be more to life than just working. Yes, that's true. So do other things when you're not working. How many hours are in a week? 168 hours. There's 168 hours. Let's say you sleep 8 hours a night. So there's 168 hours in a week. And let's say you sleep 56 of those hours and you work 40. That still leaves you with 72 hours a week where you're not working and you're not sleeping. Spend those 72 hours doing something fulfilling. Spend those 72 hours living your life to the fullest, and then give the other 40 hours that you're awake your time to make money so that you can survive. I don't understand why this is such a hard concept for these kids. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I know a lot of them are adults, but I'm still gonna say kids.
Do you know what a lot of people don't talk about? The fake urgency in corporate America. Because why do we feel like we're diffusing bombs? You literally asked for a spreadsheet an hour ago, and now you're doing a just circling back email. Susan, calm down. HR, I'm not a doctor. Nothing is urgent.
Susan, it's not that urgent. It's just a spreadsheet. No, it's the simple act of you're asked to do something, so you need to get it done. You're not being paid to meander around and get things done in your own time. If your superior says that they want something, you need to get it to them. It's not about, it's just a spreadsheet. It's not diffusing a bomb. You were asked to do something, so get it done. No lollygagging. Just get it done.
I believe I'm saying this, but I've recently resigned from my 9 to 5 corporate job that I was in for about a year and a half, and I hated it. So here's 4 things I learned about the corporate world in my 1.5 years of... For one, what the is with all these silent rules and expectations? The expectation that you'll come in early and stay back late, but no one talks about it. It's just expected. You're paying me till 5 p.m. I'm sorry. I'm out of here at 5 on the dot, babe. Also the expectation to arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. It takes me literally 30 seconds to turn on my computer. As long as I'm at my desk doing my work at 8:30 when I start, why the f does it matter if I'm there 10 minutes early? I will be at my desk at 8:30 till 5, and I will have a 1 hour lunch break where I will leave the office, and that's that. Okay, number 2, dressing up in cute corporate girly fits is like the biggest novelty for like the first few weeks, and then it wears off very, very quickly when you realize that you're trapped in an office all day, staring at a screen, talking to people that you don't like. Number 3 is that it's actually really exhausting and draining, and I know some people will like be like it's an office job, you're sitting at a desk all day. And while it's not physically draining, it is mentally and emotionally exhausting. Seriously.
Okay, yes, it is. It is. Being in an office job, sitting in a cubicle, doing, the corporate grind. Yeah, it's emotionally exhausting. Not only is it emotionally exhausting, but you also have to do all of these mental gymnastics. You have to, probably tuck away parts of you that are more casual. You have to be more professional in an office setting. Not only are you having the mental energy of doing your job, but you're also having the mental gymnastics of controlling your inner self. And you have to almost pretend to be somebody else when you're at the office. That's exhausting too. I'm sorry that we don't live in a world where you could just show up to an office job in sweatpants and do the bare minimum. That's not what life is like. I'm sorry. But I will say one of the things that I do kind of agree with is if you are on salary, depending on what you're actually doing, I don't know if I necessarily agree with having to be like chronically early to everything, because if you are salaried and you're being paid to be there from 8 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock, then yes, show up at 8, turn your computer on. I don't see any reason to be there 10 or 15 minutes early. However, if you have a job where you're salaried, where when 8 o'clock hits, you have to be on it, the phone starts ringing. You can't be waiting for your computer to boot up when your phone is ringing. So I can see it both ways. So I think that it kind of depends on the job when you show up, whether or not you have to be excruciatingly early or just show up when, you're supposed to be at work.
Seriously, staring at a screen for 8 hours a day, like I literally had to go get an eye test because like I started getting these little like dust particle things that like fly around in my eye, and it still happens now, and it only started when I fucking started looking at a screen every single day.
Poor baby. She had to stare at a screen all day long. Oh my God, her poor eyeballs with the little floaty dust thingies. She not think that shit happens when she's staring at her phone all day? You know she is. You know she's staring at her phone all day. Baby, staring at your phone is no different than staring at a computer screen. It's all blue light. It's all blue light, and if it's really hurting your precious eyes, get some Blue Shield glasses. They're not expensive.
The fourth and final thing that I learned is that the 9-to-5 lifestyle is like, I will never go back to a full-time 9-to-5 corporate job. It's like the worst way to live your life. Like you literally just wake up, go to work, come home, make dinner, go to sleep, go to work, repeat, like 2 days off on the week.
I blame the internet. I blame the internet. Why do so many of these Gen Z adults not realize that this is what adulting is? You go to a job, you punch in, you punch out, you go home, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you rinse and repeat, and you live for the weekend. There's a whole freaking song about it. Everybody's working for the weekend. I mean, I blame the internet. I blame the perception portrayed on the internet to all of these Gen Zers that you don't necessarily have to work to make money because maybe you're a social media influencer. You see all of these people flashing that they have money and they go on trips and they do all these things, but they're not putting on social media the work that's going on behind the scenes in order to afford that. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of, because I tried like hell to instill in my 19-year-old son how hard you have to work to have nice things, because I've been in this shit, you guys. I've been on food stamps. I've lived in, I'm not shitting you, okay? I have lived in a cockroach-infested apartment that cost $350 a month, and this was back in 2005. $350 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment that was infested with cockroaches. I lived in it. It was freaking gross. I've been in food bank lines. I've received food stamps. I've been on state assistance. I was literally on state assistance when my 19-year-old was born. All of the formula that my 19-year-old drank was from the WIC program. And so from a very, very early age with my son, I tried to instill good work ethic and show him what it takes to go from living like that to being okay. And not being able to have to stress so much, because if your car breaks down, it's okay because there's some money in savings. But as much as I tried to instill in my son, who is Gen Z, the power of motivation and work ethic, he still, again, son, if you're watching, I love you, but you still act like this. I blame the internet. I blame the internet.
On the weekend, they go by instantaneously and then you're back at work in a job that you don't like. I feel like if you like your job, maybe it's better. So yeah, that's everything I learned in my 1.5 years of being a corporate girly in my first big girl job out of uni. And it wasn't amazing. So I'm really glad I did my degree.
I do not want to work in corporate America anymore. Like, I just want to go get a little retail job that I don't care about and just have enough money to pay the bills and do what I want. Like, I don't need to climb the ladder. Like, working in corporate is not it. I've worked for 4 different major banks in different departments, and I just don't like it. Like, when I worked at Capital One, I liked the people, but I didn't like the work. Like, people think, we're always taught, go to college, you get a job in your field, get a good corporate job, benefits, good pay, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But the stress, like, waking up and dreading going to work, but you feel like you have to because it's a good job, it's a good pay. Like, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I had less stress working front desk at the Courtyard Marriott, okay? Getting cussed out by people. It was less stress. Like, working in corporate America, it's just a bunch of people who think that their dookie don't stank, and it's just like high school, and they want you to care so much about the job. Like, I just don't want to work in corporate America anymore. And it's just like, it's like, I feel like you're looked down upon. Like, if I were to leave this type of job and like go work, a job that's not, this, advanced, it would be like, people would look at me like, you have a college degree and that's what you're going to do with it? That's beneath you. Like, I don't know. But I don't know, but I do know that this ain't going to work. And I'm tired of going to work and not liking it.
But that's why you make more money in corporate America, because you're dealing with stress, because you have more responsibilities. That's why people that are assembling shrinkflation Big Macs at McDonald's don't make as much money as somebody who works in a corporate office. That's why. Because when you're assembling these Big Macs at McDonald's, or you frying some wings or some French fries, it's not really a care in the world. You're just focusing on not burning the food. But when you're corporate America, you have more responsibilities, which means you're compensated better for it, which is why a lot of the times it takes some sort of a degree to do some of those jobs. Not all of them. I didn't have a college degree. College wasn't for me. I know that, like, that's kind of, what they tell, all kids that are in school, oh, go to college, do all your testing, go to college. I tried college, it just wasn't for me. But I can tell you that in corporate America and a lot of the jobs that I had in my 20s, I worked alongside people that did have 4-year college degrees and we were making the same money. I could go on and on and on about my opinion about college. I'm not going to today, but I would not be surprised if somebody that had a 4-year degree was working a job in retail. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Tons of people do it because sometimes they just want jobs with less stress. And having a college degree doesn't exactly open up doors to stress-free jobs.
I am the only person in my office that takes a 1-hour lunch. The only person. I'm the youngest person. I'm not going to say my age, but I am the youngest person and the only person that takes a 1-hour lunch. We come in at 7 a.m. and we leave at 5 p.m. Those are 10-hour days. So those are 50-hour weeks. We're salary. We don't get paid for 50-hour weeks. We get paid for 40-hour weeks. Nobody takes an hour lunch. I take my hour lunch because why not? And then I feel like, these judgmental stares when I come back in, like, I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this.
I will say this. I agree with her. Now, if you're getting a salary, your salary might not necessarily be based on 40 hours. Your salary is what your salary is to show up Monday to Friday, realistically. And you know how long you're supposed to be there when you agree to this salary. So realistically, if you wanted to figure out your hourly rate, you would take your salary divided by the number of hours that you are actually there to work, not based on a typical 40-hour work week. But anyway, if you're there for 10 hours, take your 1-hour lunch break. I would. Who gives a shit if people are judging you? Take your break. Take your break, because 10 hours straight, especially if you're doing like mind-numbing work that's just making you feel dead inside, take your 1 hour lunch. I actually agree with that.
Work-life balance. Isn't that what I got interviewed for? You guys said we care about work-life balance, blah, blah, blah. They're always trying to sell you this dream, paint you this picture. I'm so tired of these jobs. If you're my boss, I'm just kidding.
That's the other thing too. They come and they post this shit on the internet, knowing damn well that their superiors can see it. Their bosses can see it because they post it publicly. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of people that are losing their jobs for posting on social media, by the way. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do a deep dive into that. There are so many people that make videos that get them in trouble and they lose their jobs because of social media. And it's so stupid, but warranted. Let me know if you want to see me do a video on that down in the comments.
Corporate America for several years. I kind of bop in and out. And in my humble opinion, corporate speak is the worst thing. I absolutely hate it. I don't get it. I don't like it. I'm good at it. I deal with it, but I don't like it. I think it's stupid. Why can't we just talk regularly with respect? Why do we have to say, oh, just checking in, circling back? What? Nobody says that. And then as soon as you start saying that in real life, it's like, oh, you're a corporate girly. I can see it. I can see it. And also, having been a corporate girly, having not been a corporate girly, like I said, bopping in and out, no one's happy. No one is happy, deep down. So why do we just take away all of the BS and act normal and act real? That would just make everyone more happy. They get to be themselves, their authentic selves. That would be the best way to do it.
I mean, I'm just gonna be real. I do speak like that in my everyday life. It probably comes from the fact that I was in corporate America. The fact that I will say things like, hey, checking in, ping me later. We're gonna have to circle back to that later. Like, I still talk like that in my everyday life. It's probably not just because, you know, I was a corporate girly, as she put it, but also because I am just overall a pretty professional person when I speak to people. I mean, I'm also, you know, an entrepreneur. I've owned businesses. I've had to be, you know, a professional speaker. I've trained myself to be very articulate, even though I have a mouth like a sailor sometime. But I kind of agree with her. Like, I think people in corporate America might be a little bit less dead inside if they didn't have to pretend to be so professional. Like, if they could just be more casual and just be themselves. But I mean, that's just the way it's always been for years. You know, people project a certain level of professionalism when they're in corporate America. So therefore, that's just how, you know, it's always been. And until the people that have been in corporate America for decades are filtered out via retiring or whatever, and the younger generations get in there and change it, I can't see it becoming more relaxed. It's still just going to be as professional as it was.
Let me demystify corporate America for you all really quickly. It's nothing but a stage. And once you realize that you are an actor, it becomes super easy. Just get the lines down and the cadence and just practice your delivery. Yes, I can get that to you right away. Okay. By end of day. Okay.
Yeah, he's acting. Like, when you're in corporate America, you act.
We'll have to circle back really and truly, but I'm really confident that we can achieve our goals. And that's like level 1, but if you want the master class, here's some other techniques. Okay. How's your oldest daughter doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, college applications can be really difficult. It's the kids. It's all in the kids.
Yeah, that's funny. Here's a master class in how to speak corporate. I mean, he's not exactly wrong.
Today's video is brought to you by my family-owned and operated small business, Kinda Nutty. We specialize in carnival-style cinnamon sugar glazed nuts, including pecans, cashews, almonds, and peanuts. We also have various snack mixes, nut mixes, and sweet treats, including a wide variety of saltwater taffies. Head on over to kindanutty.com and use code YouTube to get 10% off your order today.
So maybe at the end of the day, Gen Z isn't lazy. Maybe they're just done playing the game by old rules. What do you think? Is this the start of a work revolution or just another form of entitlement with a Wi-Fi connection? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below because I know y'all are gonna have a lot to say about this one. If you like videos like this, remember to hit the thumbs up, and while you're down there, also check to make sure that you are subscribed and ring that notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Thank you again so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.